All right. So, welcome to episode 17 of That's What I'm Saying, the podcast about hip hop, entertainment, dating, sex, relationships, and social issues from a sometimes ratchet but mostly woke perspective. So, subscribe to That's What I'm Saying, the podcast. We're in iTunes, we're on Google Play, SoundCloud, iHeartRadio, Spreaker, Stitcher, Castpod. I'm Sean.
I'm not, y'all. What's up? What's up? What's up?
Yay. So, now what are we calling this episode?
We do it for the culture.
With a K. Ooh, ooh, ooh. We're aunties again.
Yeah, we're aunties again. Our baby sister had a baby.
That's Cardi B.
Yeah, so Cardi B and Offset, they had a baby girl. Not too many details have been leaked out yet, but we do have her name. It's Culture Kiera Cephas. That's a black ass motherfucking name. I love it.
It is.
She was born July 10th, 4 days before my birthday. I just had a birthday this Saturday.
Yes. Oh, we got it. Can we just have a moment here? My girl had a birthday. I wasn't there to enjoy it with you in New York, but I know you had a great time. Another year, another blessing. So happy belated birthday, girl.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. I really enjoyed myself this birthday. You know, I don't know if it's just the cancer in me, but my feelings be in they feelings on my birthday, but I pushed through it and I had a ball. Like I had a ball. I celebrated every day this weekend. Was in Brooklyn, was in downtown Manhattan, was in Harlem. I just kind of went all over the city. So I had a great time. Had a great time with some friends.
Very, very good. I'm happy about that. My brother Mark, his birthday was yesterday.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, you know, y'all cancers. So okay. Getting back to our niece.
Yeah. So they haven't posted any actual pictures of her. But Cardi B did post a picture of her and Offset at the baby's first doctor's appointment today. So they had a baby. So I can't wait for pictures to come out. I know she's probably adorable.
Yeah. Very good. Well, gotta say something about Snoop Dogg, who allegedly
Lord have mercy.
has been cheating on his wife with the Insta thought Selena. So I don't know if you remember Selena, but she was the one who said that she was pregnant by Offset. Here we go again.
Mm-hmm.
But then said that it was all she faked it or whatever. It wasn't the real thing. So supposedly she has video, which I've seen, and text receipts of her communication with Snoop Dogg. She said that they did coke off her breasts, and she said they fucked during his gospel album, Bible of Love.
That is what? That is hilarious. That is okay.
I listened to Bible of Love too. I listened to the gospel album.
Did he win a Grammy for that?
Enjoyed it. He really did. It was like 20 something songs, but it was more so other artists, and then with the Snoop Dogg little brand to it. But yeah, it was good. So yeah, she said allegedly they was getting it on to his gospel album, and they was doing coke off for her breast assist. So this chick
cheated, but fucking to a gospel album, that's weird.
It's nasty. I don't know, and I don't look at Snoop Dogg as I can't remember his wife's name, but I always felt like they were like, real tight, and I didn't expect him to be hit by any scandal because I don't remember this being a thing with him,
No, girl, he was always cheating on her. Shantae, her name is Shantae. He was always cheating on Shantae. She actually filed for divorce at one point. She was gonna leave him. He was out there. Remember he went to was it the BET Awards and he had those girls on those dog chains?
Oh yeah. After he had got off the remember he was charged with murder. Do you remember that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Murder was the case that they gave me, and he got off.
He has lived 9 lives in his one
Sure
life.
Has. And then he was Snoop Lion. Remember that? He went through a Snoop Lion phase.
Funny. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So hopefully, man, I'm telling you, it takes a thought. A thought will bring a man down. You let her in.
No. I ain't even gonna blame the thought. He's the one that's married.
True indeed. What I'm saying is men are weak. So this is just an example of the weakness. And we live in a day and age of social media. So of course, this trick put everything online for everybody to see.
Yeah. Which is to me, it just makes these men look so weak. Because you know the different outlets that this information can get leaked to. Why would you put yourself in that situation?
I'm telling you, they think with that other head. It's amazing. There's nothing like, let me tell you, there's nothing like a man who don't get moved by pussy. Like it's something about that type of self-control where you know
it's what I was about to say. Like I'm pretty sure like his numbers of women he done been with is in the hundreds, maybe even thousands. I'm sure he's had all kinds of sex, like all kinds of shit you can't even imagine. Like, when do you get tired? He's like 50. When do you get tired? Like, I know Shantae is like, I done put like 20 years into this man, 25 years into this man. He's old now. He's gonna slow down.
Isn't he a grandfather? I thought one of their kids had a kid, right?
Father. And I know in her mind she's thinking like, I ain't gotta put up with this dumb shit no more. He's old and mature. But thoughts. So whatever, Snoop. I'm disappointed, but am I surprised? No.
Yeah, pretty much. Same here. Okay, so moving on, then this is like a sad little piece, but Lil Boosie, who I don't listen to, supposedly threatened to kill his baby mama, and he confessed to murdering her brother. So I don't know if you remember, like he went to jail. No, actually he was charged back in like 2009 for the murder of this man, but he was acquitted of all charges. So supposedly he's online confessing that he actually did it. What you think about this?
I don't really know too much about it. Lil Boosie, I don't even really have anything to say about it because I don't know too much about it. I didn't even know he was acquitted of killing her brother.
Yeah.
But it seems like he has murderous tendencies, so something needs to happen to him.
Yeah, he's sounds like he's very violent too.
Yeah.
Not a Boosie fan, but
what
yeah.
Song? I'm a Boosie fan. Hold on, what is he saying? Now I'm like drawing a blank.
I only remember this one song where he's like, "My mama told me never put your trust in man." I don't know what it's called. Somebody who is a Boosie fan made me listen to it. I'm like, this is terrible. And I ended up, I remember we were battling with songs, and I ended up putting on Nature. We Ain't Friends. I was like, this song is hey, don't bring me no Boosie babe. Whatever. I don't know. I don't know what song he does.
Wipe Me Down. Wipe Me Down.
Okay.
Wipe Me Down. That was my shit.
Yes, but you didn't even know that it was Boosie. That was the song. Don't mean much. Don't mean much.
Wipe Me Down. All right. Anyway, Lil Boosie, get your shit together. Get some counseling. Please. Whatever. And that's one thing that our community just doesn't need. I mean, they do. They don't do. It's counseling, and we need that shit back. Like, you know what? About a couple weeks ago, I had an epiphany, and I was like, you know what? I really think I need to go get counseling because I was thinking about like my romantic relationships, and I was thinking, I'm so hesitant to like really fully commit because I just want to make sure that it's right. But I also want to make sure that any dysfunctions that I may have or any insecurities or any things that I haven't really fully unpacked, I need to like really explore those things first. Because I want to have like a long-lasting relationship. And I don't want anything that I'm doing to sabotage it. So I actually did have an epiphany. A lot of our people, we need counseling.
I agree with you. And I to add to that, it also really depends on, we need the right counseling,
right?
Because me being in the court system, and I'm just, I've sat down with many counselors and listened to the styles, and you've got to find the one that works for you. Because I've heard some really crazy things coming out of certain counselors, therapists mouths, because they come with their set of biases and their perspectives too. And, regardless of whether you think that they are neutral, they're really not.
Right.
So it's it's about finding the right one. But I definitely agree with you. I don't think there's anything wrong with unpacking, as you say. We all come with a level of dysfunction. Every last one of us. Everybody got some shit with them. So you got a tick, you got something that you're carrying into your next relationship, your next situation. That happens all the time. I remember, let me tell you this. I remember during the process of my divorce, and we went to counseling. This is where, hindsight is always 2020. And I remember going to the counselor, and whatever was said in that one-on-one session with my now ex-husband, that counselor told me, and it was a white man, but he said, you need to leave. You need to pack up your things right now and go. And I was still on this, like, I need you to help me work this out. And he was like, there's nothing to work out here. It was so raw and so real. Had I listened at that time, I probably, things probably wouldn't have happened the way they did. Like, so I said, hindsight is always 2020. But and I can look back and I was like, that was the best advice I got. And you know what? I didn't listen to it.
Yeah.
Whatever he heard, whatever came out, it was, you need to run. You need to get up out.
Wow.
Wow. Yep. Well, I was like, I wish you had followed me home and not let me go home and told me something.
But when you're in the middle of something, you always kind of want to see it through. And
yeah, that's why I was mad. I actually ended the counseling because I didn't want to hear that, and that was another thing. I wanted to hear what I wanted to hear. You got to be in a place to receive. And I wasn't in a place to receive. And the information that was coming, I was like, I don't like that. I don't like that. So I was blocking.
Yeah.
And that wasn't the point of it. It was, you gotta be in receive mode to hear, and from someone who is knowledgeable and can give you really, really good advice. So yeah, but did we do all that for Lil Boosie? The Boosie moment.
Our black men, our people in general, we need some counseling. We need some real deep counseling. And
I agree. And not going to your pastor, your preacher at the church, not necessarily. That ain't it.
That ain't, girl. I can't. Girl, I had a conversation with a family member about that. They said it's the same thing. No, it's not.
It's really not.
Not the same.
It's really not.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So moving on. What we got?
So Kylie Jenner made news. She was on the Forbes list as a self-made millionaire. Her net worth is $9 million. $900
million.
$900 million. Excuse me. $900 million. So
can't get them zeros. It's too many for my mouth too.
Like, what? I can't even put my mouth around.
What? I need to know. I'm telling you, the power of a black man's dick. Do you understand?
Yeah. But
your sister suck a black man's dick and you become almost a damn near billionaire.
Girl, and you know what? There's a GoFundMe that was established as a joke, as a gag, to raise the last 100,000 to get her to the 1 billion mark. And people are actually donating to this. I'm like,
this chick don't even have her own lips.
Girl, no. But the crazy thing is that Forbes said she was self-made, and she's nowhere near self-made. Nowhere near. Nowhere near. Even before, Kim Kardashian did her, her sex tape. Her family was still well off. They weren't like how they have money now, but they were well off. They were living a nice life. Her father is an Olympian.
Oh yeah, her daddy mommy.
Mr. Mommy. Mr. Mom.
Got their own little Miss Doubtfire.
And you know what? He has so much money. He should not be that ugly. Like, you have so much.
For real.
What plastic surgeon did you go to? Because he looks terrible.
He does. He looks like a tranny.
So scary. And he was such a handsome man. He would have made a beautiful woman because he was a handsome man.
Has smooth skin. I can't believe we're sitting here talking. Like,
somebody did your
daddy is your mommy. Your daddy is your mommy.
Moving right along.
I'm eating a
I wanted to ask you, what are you eating?
I'm sorry. I mean, something I shouldn't be. This is the devil over here. Oh. I'm eating an ice cream sandwich.
Oh,
it's a mini ice cream sandwich. So good.
Yeah.
I deserved it. I had a hard day today. Well, I'm done. Okay. Where are we at now? Oh. All right. So we get into the woke minute. I think this is a woke topic. This should be really interesting. So Charlemagne the God has admitted to giving a girl, back about 17 years ago, he drugged a girl with Spanish fly. And he did admit to having sex with her while she was basically wasted and high 17 years ago. Hold up, hold up. I see you moving. Let me just get the facts out, okay? Let me just get
Okay.
the facts out. Okay, so allegedly, this woman by the name of, I know her last name is Reed. She was 15 years old, and at the time, Charlemagne was 22. Although she says that Charlemagne told her that he was 20. She said that they had hung out a couple of times before this happened. He even met her mother. But she says he definitely knew how old I was. She was 15 years old. And then Charlemagne, the God, in an interview that was about 7 years ago with DJ Academics, um, see, this is my issue with Charlemagne is what's being reported. There are different storylines, depending on what year he's being interviewed. So in 2013, he claimed that he didn't know this woman, who was a child at the time, and that he know her very well, although he did say I was about 20 years old at the time that they had, some interaction. So she claims that he spiked a drink of hers. He's already admitted that it was Spanish Fly. He had a party and he put it in the drink. And I'm gonna tell you, I listened to the interview where he's talking about this incident with DJ Academics, and it was kind of like a joke, it saying, this is what all young guys do at certain parts of their life. So and he also said that basically, he had to hold his boys back because they were trying to run a train on her. That he left her and then somebody else took her up into the bedroom, and they were trying to rub their penises on her. I mean, it was very graphic. He explained some of it. So he was arrested back in 2001, but because at the time, she was 15 years old, and her mother had said, I was trying to make it easy on her. So basically, she did not cooperate with the investigation. So they downgraded the charge to a second degree criminal sexual conduct with a minor, and he basically got off with 3 years probation. So she's coming back now. I understand that she was trying to open the case back up, which I understand in South Carolina, even though there's no statute of limitations for cases like these, the prosecution decided not to pick up the case again. So, Charlemagne he said some things about this that, it stood out to me. He talks about the rape culture, and he talks about, at some point he talks about, in the past he sexually assaulted his girlfriend before. He said when he was 16 years old, he said, and I quote, "We all done put our hands on our chick at some point." He said when asked about Chris Brown and Rihanna's relationship, he says, quote, "I've definitely put my hands on a girl before, and that's something you learn from." So he's admitted to acting inappropriately with women in the past. So
Yeah, and I
I
think,
know you're very opinionated. I know you've been holding off. So go
yeah.
ahead.
So I do want to say this about Charlemagne, that there is no secret that he has, and I think he's had a tremendous maturity that's happened in the past few years. But out of his mouth, he's done some grotesque things. He's acted in a grotesque manner with women, and when I say grotesque, I mean just being very, just being, just fucking a lot of women. I don't know how else to say it, and just being nasty with it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, but what I'm looking at now, there's a Billboard article, and I'm just going to quote what's here, and it says, I don't know when he made this quote, but this article is from this month. Over 17 years ago, I pled guilty to contributing to the delinquency of a minor and served 3 years of probation after irresponsibly hosting a party where alcohol was served to minors. He said, I will forever regret my role in creating an environment that was less than safe. I cooperated with authorities, participated in multiple interviews, and submitted to DNA testing. Ultimately, the assault charge was dismissed because I had no physical contact with the alleged victim whatsoever. This is what he's saying.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not gonna say he did it, and I'm not gonna say he didn't do it. He got acquitted of it. He said he submitted DNA testing. So I don't know. It's one of those things where I can't really make don't feel like I have enough information to actually make a decision on it, on whether I believe he did it or not. I am confident in saying if he didn't participate, he knew it was going on. You know, he knew it was his party. So I'm pretty sure what was going on. Whether he participated or not, that's a different story. Does that make him guilty if he knew that if it was going on and didn't stop it? Yeah, in my book it does. But the question is, you know, did he rape her? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to definitively say that a rape happened or not. What I was concerned with just in hearing this is, you know, the minute you talk about DNA is a very tricky thing. The minute you talk about DNA evidence, whether, you know, it's there or the lack thereof, and that is supposed to, you know, it's supposed to make or break that criminal defendant. And, you know, to understand, especially with rape, you know, it's only about 30% of rapes are reported. That's number one.
Yeah.
So, and there's a window of, I hate to say, opportunity when it comes to reporting and then collecting the evidence. So, you know, even like with this young lady in this scenario, and she was 15 years old at the time, and her mother was the one who said, it's, you know, in so many ways, don't cooperate because she's suffering. You know, I mean, you think about it,
I can
you
understand
go.
that. You want to protect your kid.
So, and she said, you know, it was a mistake, and she's like, I support her 100% in seeking closure now, but I thought I was protecting her at the time. So I said, you know, you're not going to go to these hearings and these depositions, and you're not going to testify, and you're not going to cooperate because it just the psychological strain alone is too much. But I'm just really careful when we talk about, you know, DNA evidence and whether it was there or not, because I mean, whether it's sexual assault, whether it's consensual, you know, you get up and take a shower, you brush your teeth, most of that evidence is gone. If he doesn't ejaculate inside of you, there is no DNA evidence to speak of. You know, maybe he didn't ejaculate. There's just, and I'm not just pointing at Charlemagne. I'm saying with any of these. So I'm not quick to, you know, point to, well, whether there's DNA or not, because there's so many different scenarios. You know, you could take the bedding off the bed and the DNA evidence is gone. You know, it's something so precarious as that. So just being really careful with, you know, well, he said that he was acquitted because there was no DNA. Like, that does not necessarily mean that a rape, a sexual assault did not happen because the existence is, you know, it's not there, or they didn't find it. So, and, you know, and that's my thing. Another is, you know, for me, what it had me thinking about is that, you know, we as a culture, I mean, we have gone through it within a very short space of time. I mean, we've gone through R. Kelly, Bill Cosby. There's a Kodak Black. There's the, you know, Triple X, rest in peace. You know, Chris Brown, of course, we seen it, we know it. Rick Ross talking crazy in his music. You know, I love Cameron, but, you know, so many different, Suck It or Not, and I'm thinking of all these songs. You know,
and that's the thing about, sorry to cut you off, but that's the thing about being a woman and being a lover of hip hop. It's like sometimes you have to swallow that misogynistic part of hip hop, because it's a big part of it. You know, and it's a lot of bitches and hoes and suck my dick and this and fuck you and all this stuff. And it's like we love it because we grew up on it, but in the same hand, it's like it's very fucking disrespectful.
Well, and that's my dilemma. You know, I mean, it is, we as a culture, you know, especially us as Black women, we're quick to forget. You know, we got really short memories. Our attention spans are like, you know, like gnats, and we have this willingness. I don't know. It's like this ingrained willingness to overlook violence against women, against our own kind.
Yeah.
And like you said, I'm a hip hop lover. And, you know, and I know all the lyrics to all these songs that blatantly degrade women left and right. I know, you know, is it you know, for me, it's like, you know, I'm like, turn it up. I love it. But, you know, I struggle with, do we separate the artist from the art? you know, I know I'm not the only one guilty of this. I do struggle with it. I love my hip hop, but I can't just throw it all away. Because if I said, okay, I'm making a fine line, I'm drawing a bright line here, and anything that is, demeaning, misogynistic in any way, I'm not listening to. I wouldn't be listening to hip hop. I can't. No music, no music in my life.
And even now, you wouldn't even be listening to R&B because a lot of R&B got some.
You know what I'm saying? So this is hard. So do we push for higher standards? Is it our responsibility to try to keep it as positive and as healthy as possible? How do we balance it out? I mean, this is an ongoing discussion, and I'm listening to, I listen to, I still from time to time listen to R. Kelly. And it's hard for me. I don't know. I struggle with it, because I can't just turn it off.
Well, I drew a hard line with R. Kelly. I cannot listen to his music. I just cannot listen to it. And I think a lot of it probably has to do with like some, personal stuff that's, that I deal with. But I cannot listen to it. It makes me so sick to my stomach.
Yeah, and I'm there sometimes. It's like that abusive boyfriend that you shouldn't be with, and you should leave, but something about him be so good. And I'm not making light of the situation. I'm not, it's not a joke, but it's this is why they're making it really hard. They're making it really hard because you see the talent, and it's like I want to, pay homage to the artist, but at the same time, it's like, your life is so nasty and disgusting, and it's just like totally, destroyed a lot of your art. Like, how, what does that leave us as fans and as consumers? What are we supposed to do?
Yeah.
So, and I think just the whole Charlemagne, that story just kind of brought it in light. He's not a rap artist, he's not an artist, but he's part of the culture.
Yeah.
And, his story, his side of the story, and her side of the story is two different sides,
Yeah.
and the way that he looks at it, even though, I give him kudos for maturing in front of us. Like you said, he's done a lot of evolution of himself, kind of like with Jay-Z. We see this evolution of this man, but look how long it took. It's not. It took a while, to get to that point. So,
and that happens with we were just talking about this offline. It takes some men longer to mature.
Yeah, if they even get to that point.
Right.
Because at the same time, I feel like at the same time they're evolving, they're devolving too.
Oh wow!
And
Can you explain that?
That's gonna be a have to
That was
post
something
that.
you just said.
But it's real, and I really feel like that. So I think the race for them is to evolve faster than they devolve. And sometimes you'll catch a male in the middle of his devolution, and you can tell, and it's like, man, he's got a choice to make.
Okay.
You hear what I'm saying? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's my take on it.
Yeah, so we'll see how this plays out. But like I said, I can't really say definitive if I believe he did it or he didn't do it. And even if he didn't do it, but he knew what was going on, to me that still makes you equally as guilty. You didn't stop it.
Oh yeah.
I think this whole accessory to crime thing, I hold that thing high up, whether it's something your husband is doing and you're just turning a blind eye to it, or something your homeboys are doing it and you're ignoring it.
Guilt by association. I believe that too.
Yeah, so all right, we'll see how this plays out.
Okay. All right. Moving on. What we got?
So I read this story online. There were two female officers in Georgia who were on leave, paid leave, of course, after there was a video that surfaced of them doing a coin toss to decide if they were going to arrest this woman who they stopped for speeding. So apparently this woman, Sarah Webb, she was pulled over. She was going to work, and they pulled her over for speeding. The officers were Christy Wilson and Courtney Brown. And so I guess, she was speeding going on to work and they pulled her over. So they had a decision to make whether to arrest her or to let her go. And so what they did is, I guess there's some sort of app that you can put on your phone to do a coin toss.
Mm-hmm.
And it was heads, she goes to jail, B, they let her go. So she went to jail. And so
wow.
3 weeks before her trial, a local TV station contacted this woman, Sarah Webb, and told her, there's this video, the cops that arrested
wow.
are on video doing the coin toss. So the prosecutor actually dropped all the charges against her.
Right.
And these officers are now on leave, administrative leave. So this, I don't know. What do you think, Sean?
So Sarah Webb, is she a sister or what's the nationality?
I don't know if she's black or not. I don't know. Let me look her up. I don't know if she's black or not.
And the officers, do you know if they're
both officers are white women?
I wonder. I mean, I think that would put that would shed a little more perspective on it. Just the arbitrariness of the arrest.
It looks as if this woman was white. Everybody was white. What?
Wow. Where were they at? Where did this happen?
This happened in Georgia.
In Georgia.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it just speaks to the arbitrariness of law enforcement. I mean, I'm glad that wasn't a sister, because then it would, that would have lent to a little side to this. But I mean, look what we're talking about. We're in Georgia, and they're using a game to pass the time.
You know what? And we talked about this before with the process of selecting cops and becoming a police officer. There has to be another level of qualification for officers, whether it's additional schooling, sensitivity training.
I agree.
It's missing there. It just seems like you have a couple credits or no credits at all from college, and you can just take a test, and if you pass it, you can swim. If you can do that, then you're.
I'm telling you, it looks for sociopaths. It has to. That test has to look for sociopaths, because you need someone who will defy authority, buck the system, make their own rules, and be out here ready to play cops and robbers and shoot up something in case.
And there's a level of just want to have some power over someone. There's
people that are hungry for that. Like that personality. So I really feel like a lot of these tests for law enforcement, it seeks out that type of personality, because they think they would do well. But yeah, well, that's a crazy story. Okay.
Anyway, moving right along. We are at the
Weekend D.
I will say that my weekends have been dickless.
What? Look, how the tables have turned, honey, because yeah. Stop.
No,
I got enough to share. I got enough to go around. You want? What kind of dick you want? Smorgasbord. No, a cornucopia.
Right. This is an interesting story that we have. This was submitted by one of our listeners.
Okay.
Who's having an affair with her friend's husband.
Bitch, bye. I'm sorry. I can't. We gotta go. What?
Let me get the details.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm gonna keep Reza listening, but ciao.
But okay, some of the story doesn't really make sense, but I'm gonna read to you what she wrote. So several months ago, I had a house party with some friends, and the husband of one of my friends attended without her. Now, she's not really like a close friend, but she is a friend. So one by one, everyone left, and he was the only person that was left at the party. And he said he was too drunk to drive and asked if he could stay. Which, there's no Uber where you live? I would have been so happy as riding an Uber and All right, but she didn't do that.
So I'll sleep in his car. He didn't. Okay, I'm done. Okay, go ahead. Let me be quiet.
And is that normal for you to sleep away from your wife? Anyway,
Mm-hmm.
I allowed him to stay, and we talked all night long. And of course, all that talking led to sex.
Of
It's
course.
been 3 months, and we're still seeing each other. Even though his wife is not a close friend of mine, I feel very guilty.
You think? Something, but
My feelings for him are growing, and now I'm torn. Should I break it off with him, or should I tell my friend what's going on?
so first it wasn't your close friend, but now she's a friend. I see. I just let me get myself together. Okay, so here's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
And this is and I learned this in during my marriage, and I couldn't understand, it was one thing to go out and party and party together, but there's an issue when he's going to different event, different events, and I'm going to different events, and it just that became a problem. That really became an issue. So I don't like that idea anyway. That this man who is a friend, is married to your friend. Why is he at your party by
Mm-hmm.
himself without his wife? So that right there is number one. That is a big thing to me.
Mm-hmm.
They're together, I mean, this just angers me. And I can't, it's like I can't even get out because I'm just like, who does this? But you know what? A lot of people do this.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just as much his fault as it is her fault because she has knowledge. And I always, the many times that I've had issues with these third party women, these nondescript women coming in, it was once you have knowledge that this is a married man, yes, he's at fault more than you are. But you in the hot seat too because you have knowledge. You know that he's a married man. And whether it takes two people to tango. So whether he's upholding his vows or not, that's up to you as a woman. Have to have more respect for yourself because how you get them is how you keep them. And if that's the road you want to go down, just know that all of those roads don't end up well. When you decide to insert yourself into, obviously they got an issue if it's not an open marriage, and this is not something that's a everyday thing, then what are you exerting yourself into this relationship for? Now you didn't caught feelings because guess what? That's what happens because everything about us is intimate. Our hole is on the inside. So the minute somebody comes in and sets fire to your soul, you're gonna fall for them.
Mm-hmm.
Unless you're an insta thought out here and sex is about getting you a bag, or some shoes, you're going to catch feelings. That's what's going to happen. So now you have probably ruined a marriage, ruined a friendship, and I don't know where your self-esteem is at, but it's messy all the way around. So okay, let me just sit back in my chair because I have been through this before,
But
many times before.
sometimes
Uh-oh.
your soulmate is already married.
I need
Look
to
at
I
these.
need to go somewhere. Cuz really?
You
Then
know,
you know what? Then y'all need to see
I just wanted
what
no. I
um
just wanted to bring up Alicia Keys because she took sweet.
you know
She had,
I
but
I can't. What I said about, how I feel about Alicia Keys. You know how I feel about Alicia Keys.
her soulmate was already married to somebody else. She just laid in wait.
Like a vulture, just
Mm-hmm.
sitting there like a them crabs, them sea crabs that be on the bottom of the sea and
Yeah,
wait for a fish to come by. That
yeah. But
and I don't want to blame the woman. Like I don't want to, because it's not. She's as fault just as much as he is, and he's worse, more at fault because he's married. But a part is you expect from a man.
But
You
I
expect that.
do agree with you. What you saying? How you get them is how you lose them. And to me,
Hmm.
I'm a big and a lot of people kind of don't really understand how karma works. They think it's
Yep.
instantaneously, but really, if in the true sense of karma, it's really what you do in this life affects your next life.
That's right. What's her name? Said, I guess I see you next lifetime.
Right.
You
But
gonna have
I
to.
do believe I believe in instant karma. So I believe that what you do now will affect you tomorrow.
Absolutely, absolutely. I agree with that. Whether it is in your next lifetime or in the next hour or so, it's going to come back. And that's the gift and the curse about it, is that you, once you set that ball in motion, you really don't have too much control as to how that ball's going to come back and bounce up in your face.
Because what's really going to happen is this is not going to end well at all, because if she breaks it off with him, then she really, she's going to alienate herself from her friends, and you're going to have this secret with you, and you can't live a full life having these little dark nasty secrets. If she tells her friend,
exactly,
she's going to ruin this friendship, she's going to ruin their marriage, and all of their communal friends they have, friends that they share, they're not going to side with her, because you're going to look like the homewrecker. She's in a terrible spot.
Let's call her Alicia. Call her Alicia.
Yeah, and bitch, you can't sing, so you ain't got no $1 million. So I don't know how you're gonna pull yourself out of this one.
I think we've lost the listener, but at least we stayed authentic and true to ourselves. I have to be true.
Yeah, I don't. There's my advice is to break it off, cut your losses, break it off, and move on with your life. Forget him
immediately.
Forget him, and really, I want to say, just she can't be your friend anymore. She can't be your friend anymore, because you can't even consider yourself a friend if you would do this to her anyway.
Like I did. That's what I'm saying. Like, I dare you call her your friend, because that what kind of friend is that? I don't ever want that kind of friend. Don't ever do that. Don't ever do me like that.
And there's some holes in this story, because I don't understand, in the whole age of Uber, cabs, why couldn't he go home?
Walk home, get a ride.
Call your wife.
Sleep outside in the garage, in the car, somebody's car. Just stop.
Yeah, and I want to kind of say that he probably planned all this. How was
he did? Of course he did. I mean, obviously it was consensual. So whether he planned it or not,
he had motives when he got there. He had a plan when he got there.
Now, of course, there's an alternate reality of this, where she could tell the friend, her quote unquote friend, and the friend is with it, and it becomes a threesome. Because we live in this day and age where stuff. I'm constantly amazed.
That is so messy
by the shit that goes on. So, but no, just I think what we said, you're pretty much, we agree on that. That how you get them is how you keep them, girl. And you want good energy and good karma in your life. Then clear out that negativity. That's negative.
Yep. That is negative, bro.
Negative. That's my mother would say. It's some negative shit.
Yeah. And don't do this shit again.
Please.
Don't do it again.
Put that pussy away. Please. Just
Sometimes you gotta put the cat up. You know what I'm saying?
Everybody can't get none. Everybody. It's so many men out here. Just like it's so many. Why do you need somebody? That just, it touches me in a place, because what I went through. And I'm like, I'm never gonna fight no woman over no man. I would never do that. It's just as much his fault. But I feel like once that woman, you know the deal, then you are completely disrespecting yourself by inserting yourself into which it's an issue between myself and my husband. You don't have a place.
I'm never going to fight another woman over a man, and I'm never going to fight to keep that man if he's cheating.
For real.
If you don't do that, go ahead and do it. By all means,
do it.
Yep. Don't make I don't want to get in your way of your happiness.
Because obviously you're getting in the way of mine.
Right.
All day. All right. Okay. Well, just want to comment on the dick report. Yeah. So if you are in need, I have some. It's extra. It's been a pretty good month.
Started
my heart is full
on like total opposites.
Look how it changed up though, because before I was over here, I was like, the driest desert ever. It was like the coldest winter ever.
The desert over here. Jesus.
It's gonna be okay. It's gonna work out. Karma's gonna work out. All right, so moving on. All right, we are at my next favorite part of the show. I reminisce. Yes. So this one, it's mine. This is one of my most favorite songs from 1988. It was the children's story by Slick Rick off the Great Adventures of Slick Rick, which, as you may know, it's one of the most sampled songs of all time. I mean, I can Nas, Big Daddy Kane, Tribe Called Quest, Third Base, just to name Run DMC, De La Soul, they've all sampled a children's story. So let's take you back. You know, I like to take you back to 1988. Your girl Sean was in probably the 5th or the 6th grade. And you know, that was a time when it was about chunk earrings. I had the door knocker earrings. I thought I was cute. You know, around 5th grade, you start liking boys a little bit. So, you know, the boy with the highest high top fade off the side. Oh my goodness. And the Gucci rope chain or the Dookie chain. Oh my goodness. And I used to have my little fanny pack. And that was, you know, Gucci was like real big. So, you know, it was 5th and 6th grade. I had a Gucci bag. That my aunt gave me. You couldn't tell me nothing. So Slick Rick, I remember he was like a storyteller. Remember he had that light British accent. You didn't really know, which I now understand he's, you know, from Jamaica. He had that, you know, light accent. He had on that furry Kango hat, you know, with the patch over his lazy eye, the gold fronts, you know, and he was always dressed to the nines, whether he had a mock turtleneck on,
looking flying smooth and laid back.
And he was so, that to me, he laid the groundwork for Biggie. You know, that storytelling, like, listen, I got a story to tell. So I just remember a children's story, you know, ran up the stairs up to the top floor, opened up the door. Yeah, guess who we saw? James Dope shooting dope, who don't know the meaning of water nor soap. It just flowed. And, you know, I always remember these songs lasted like 7 minutes. Like, it was 8 minutes. It was plenty of time. So big up. What is your memory of children's story?
Man, I used to watch this video. You know, I always, all my reminiscences are talking about me watching these videos. But I used to watch this. It was like a little, I don't know. Watching this video, it was like we're watching the story, but it was so animated. You know, like the little midget. It was cool.
I remember the little midget.
You know, a children's book a couple years ago.
I heard about that. I heard about it. It was a children's story.
Yeah.
And I even heard there was a school in Virginia where the mothers were protesting because one of the teachers used a children's story as a lesson. You know, so with the, you know, break down the lyrics like, Uncle Ricky, please tell us a bedtime story, please. Oh man. So big ups to children's story, 1988, girl.
I can't believe I can't. So my birthday was Saturday. And, you know, I just can't believe all this stuff came out like 20 and 30 years ago. It seems like it was just...
That's 30 years ago. Yeah, that was 30 years ago. There are people alive right now that were not alive when this song came out. You know, like, that blows my mind. Like, there are 30-year-olds walking this earth that were not born when this song came out.
It's amazing. It's amazing.
So
anyway, but yeah, that was
we like artifacts out here, girl. We like them Egyptian writers. We like them hieroglyphics. Great song.
I love Slick Rick. I love Slick Rick.
Even remember when he was getting deported? He was having them legal issues. And they were sending him back. Oh man.
I think he lives like in down south with his wife now. Like,
does he?
North Carolina somewhere, I believe.
Oh man,
he still tours. I see him like, you know, like here and there. I see him doing performances.
Yeah, because I think we saw him, or so I did see him. It was like an old school hip hop festival, maybe in the last couple of years, and you know he's still doing it, still with the Kangos and the patch over his eye. I love it. I love it. Again, that was like the beginning of the golden age of hip hop.
Yeah, man, it was just, you know, I really feel like I still listen. I listen to like the new hip hop now. So I'm like in that current now, but I feel sorry for these newer kids who didn't hear like the golden era of hip hop. Like, you really miss out on like some jewels, man.
Yeah.
Beats, the lyrics, the dances, the style, like it's
the dances. Yep.
Dance for everything. There was a dance for everything. Yeah.
I agree. So yeah, so that's my reminisce children's story, Slick Rick.
All right. So we are moving right along to Black businesses. So my highlight this week is Mikey Likes It Ice Cream. Okay, I gotta take a deep breath because I love ice cream. I used to, not many people, well, a lot of people know this, but I used to be a manager at Baskin Robbins in high school. I think this is where I fell in love with ice cream. I absolutely love ice cream. If I could eat it all day, every day. So I stumbled upon this guy through Instagram. Somehow he came up on my feed. This, Black-owned ice cream parlor in Harlem. So let me go over here and check them out. I went over there. I opened the door. Girl, it smelled like a bakery in there. It smelled so good. So they make these waffles that they put ice cream in the middle of. And I guess they just made a batch of them. They just took them out the oven because this whole place smelled so good. It smelled like cupcakes and all kinds of vegetables. So I go there. I try to pace myself because I'm trying to be healthy. So I go there maybe like once a month. And I get Southern Hospitality, which is like vanilla ice cream. It has caramel in it. It has pecan in it. It is so good. And I went there a couple of days ago, maybe last week. I got 2 scoops. I had to force myself to eat it because I probably should only got 1 scoop, but I didn't want to waste it. Man, it's really good. It was owned by this guy, Michael Cole, who's born and bred in New York. He actually grew up in East Village. And he started this company. There's a location in Harlem, which is like around 133rd and 8th Avenue. He has one in East Village. And then he also just opened up a shop in Coney Island. So if you're ever in the area, go check him out. The dope thing about this is that his ice cream flavors are dedicated to like hip hop artists.
I love it.
Hip hop or like R&B artists, so he'll have like a flavor of the month, and it'll feature hip hop artists. It's so cool, and he has like these monthly events of whoever this whoever the honoree is. He'll have like an event to honor them, and they'll kind of roll out the flavor of the month. It's really really cool.
That's
you got to
go in. Cool. Yeah, definitely. Yes. Next time, I remember when I was in New York, you were talking about it. We just didn't get a chance to go, so definitely want to go.
So the website is MikeyLikesItIceCream.com, and you can also find him on Instagram at Mikey Likes It Ice Cream.
Yay!
Check him out. It's delicious. I would not steer you wrong. Ice cream is my thing. I know bad ice cream. I know good ice cream, and this is some good
bad ice cream. I know some good ice cream. The good ice cream. All right. Well, I think we've come to that moment where we have to say goodbye. We've come to the end. Yep. 17th episode. Let me just give a moment to us because I am proud of us. We are. Look, I'm gonna need a T-shirt. I'm gonna get you one with a big C on it for consistency because we are doing the damn thing. Okay. You can subscribe to That's What I'm Saying, the podcast. We're in the Apple Podcast app. We're on Google Play, iHeartRadio, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Stitcher, Castpod, anywhere that you listen to your podcast, you probably can find us. We're about to take over Spotify. Just give us a minute. They gotta get with us. But follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Our Twitter handle is That's What I Say 3. You can visit us on That's What I'm Saying podcast.com. Learn more. Send us questions. Like I said, we always love some dick. Send us dick questions and comments. Let us know what you think. Now we got another shout out.
Yep. We always got to shout out our producer, Vegas World Inc. You can find him on Twitter. You can find him on Instagram. He actually has a podcast himself called Hip Hop Now. Thank you all so much for listening, subscribing, liking us on social media, and we're going to see y'all next week.
Until next week, take care.
Bye.
Drop it on the random.